Growth hormone growth hormone decreases carbohydrate utilization. Growth hormone has multiple effects that influence carbohydrate metabolism, including uptake in glucose, decrease uptake in decrease glucose uptake in tissues, the skeletal muscle and fat, increase glucose production by liver, increase insulin secretion. Each of these changes result from growth hormone-induced insulin resistance, which attenuates insulin action to stimulate uptake and utilization of glucose in skeletal muscle and adipose tissue to inhibit gluconeogenesis, glucose production by the liver. This leads to increased blood glucose concentration and a compensatory increase in insulin secretion. For this reason, growth for Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Growth hormone has multiple metabolic effects. Growth hormone has multiple metabolic effects. Um, Growth hormone has multiple metabolic effects. Growth hormone has multiple metabolic effects. Mm, Growth hormone has multiple effects that increase carbohydrate metabolism, including decrease uptake, glucose uptake in skeletal tissues such as skeletal muscle and fat, increase glucose production by the liver, and increase insulin secretion. Growth hormone has multiple influence on carbohydrate metabolism, including decrease uptake, glucose uptake in skeletal tissues such as skeletal muscle, increase glucose production and by the liver and increase insulin secretion. Each of these result from growth induced insulin resistance, which generates insulin action to stimulate uptake and utilization of glucose in skeletal muscle and to inhibit skeletal muscle and adipose tissue and to inhibit gluconeogenesis, glucose production by the liver, and to inhibit and to inhibit gluconeogenesis, glucose production by the liver. This leads to increased blood glucose concentration and compensatory increase in insulin secretion. This leads to increased blood glucose. This leads to increased blood glucose concentration and a compensatory increase in insulin. This leads to increased blood glucose concentration and a compensatory increase in insulin secretion. For these reasons, growth hormone effects are diabetogenic, and excessive secretion of growth hormone can produce metabolic disturbances similar to those found in patients with type 2 non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. And excessive For this reason, growth hormone effects are diabetogenic, and excess secretion of growth hormone produce metabolic disturbances, metabolic disturbance similar to those found in patients with diabetes, similar to those found in patients in type 2 diabetes. Growth hormone has multiple metabolic effect on growth hormone has multiple metabolic effect on growth metabolism. Second point, decrease glucose uptake in tissues such as skeletal muscle, increase glucose production by the liver, and increase insulin secretion. Growth hormone has multiple metabolic effects. Growth hormone has multiple metabolic effects that influence the carbohydrate metabolism, including glucose production by the decreased uptake glucose uptake in tissues such as skeletal muscle and fat, increased glucose production increased glucose production by the liver, increased insulin secretion. Growth hormone has multiple metabolic effects that affect insulin, that influence carbohydrate metabolism, including decreased glucose uptake in tissues such as in skeletal muscle and fat, increased glucose production by the liver, and increased insulin. Growth hormone has multiple metabolic effects on carbohydrate metabolism. Decreased glucose uptake in tissues such as skeletal muscle, increased glucose production by the liver, and increased insulin secretion. Growth hormone has multiple effects that influence the carbohydrate metabolism. That influence the carbohydrate metabolism decreased glucose uptake in tissues such as skeletal muscle and increased glucose production by the liver, and increased insulin secretion. Each of these changes result from growth hormone. Each of these changes result from growth hormone induced insulin resistance. Each of these changes result from growth hormone induced insulin resistance, which attenuates insulin. Each of these changes result from growth hormone induced insulin resistance. Each of these changes result from growth hormone induced insulin resistance, which attenuates insulin action to stimulate uptake and the utilization of glucose in skeletal muscle and adipose tissue, and to inhibit gluconeogenesis. Glucose Each of these changes result from growth hormone induced insulin resistance, which attenuates insulin action to stimulate insulin uptake and utilization of glucose in skeletal muscle and adipose tissue, and to inhibit gluconeogenesis. Each of these changes result from growth hormone induced insulin action, which attenuates insulin action to stimulate uptake and utilization of glucose in skeletal muscle, and to inhibit gluconeogenesis, glucose production by the liver, and this leads to increased blood glucose concentration and a compensatory increase in insulin secretion. Each of these changes each of these changes result from growth hormone induced insulin. Each of these changes result from growth hormone induced insulin resistance, which growth hormone induced insulin. Each of these changes result from growth hormone. Each of these changes result from growth hormone reduced insulin resistance, which stimulates insulin action to stimulate insulin uptake, utilization of glucose in skeletal muscle, and to inhibit gluconeogenesis, glucose production by the liver. This leads to increased This leads to increased blood glucose concentration and a compensatory increase in insulin secretion. This leads to increased blood glucose concentration and a compensatory increase in insulin secretion. This leads to increased blood glucose concentration and a compensatory increase in insulin. This leads to increased blood glucose concentration, compensatory increase in insulin reaction. So, growth hormone has multiple effects on carbohydrate metabolism, and these are decreased glucose uptake in decreased glucose uptake in tissues such as skeletal muscle, decreased glucose uptake in tissues, decreased glucose uptake, decreased glucose uptake in tissues, decreased glucose uptake in tissues, decreased glucose uptake in tissues such as skeletal muscle and fat, increase in glucose production by the liver, increase insulin secretion. All of these changes result from the growth hormone induced insulin secretion, which attenuates insulin action, to stimulate to stimulate and utilize glucose in skeletal muscle and adipose tissue, and to inhibit gluconeogenesis, glucose production by the liver. This leads to increased blood glucose concentration and a capacity increase in insulin action. For these reasons, growth hormone effects are called diabetogenic. इसी वजह से हम उनके इसी वजह से ग्रोथ हार्मोन के इफेक्ट्स को हम डायबेटोजेनिक कहते हैं. Excessive secretion of growth hormone can promote metabolic disturbance similar to those found in patient with type 2 diabetes. और इसके जो इफेक्ट होते हैं वो टाइप 2 डायबिटीज़ मिलिटस के जैसे होते हैं. तो इसमें क्या क्या हो गया कि इसमें यह है कि each of these changes result from growth hormone induced insulin resistance, which attenuates insulin action to which attenuates insulin action to which attenuates insulin action to convert it insulin action to stimulate uptake and utilization of glucose in skeletal muscle and adipose tissue, and to inhibit gluconeogenesis by the liver. This leads to increased blood glucose concentration and a compensatory increase in insulin secretion. For this reason, growth hormones are diabetogenic, and excessive secretion of growth hormone are diabetogenic. And for this reason, growth hormone effects are diabetogenic, and excessive secretion of growth hormone can produce metabolic disturbances similar to those found in the patient with type 2 diabetes. Growth hormone decreases utilization. Growth hormone decreases carbohydrate utilization. Growth hormone has multiple metabolic effects, on carbohydrate metabolism, and decreased glucose uptake in tissues, such as skeletal muscles, and skeletal muscles and fat, increase glucose production by the liver, and increase insulin secretion. Each of these changes result from insulin resistance, which attenuates insulin action to promote carbohydrate to stimulate uptake and utilization of glucose in skeletal muscle and adipose tissue, and to inhibit gluconeogenesis by the liver. This leads to increased blood glucose concentration and a compensatory increase in insulin secretion. For these reasons, growth hormone effects are called diabetogenic, and excessive secretion of growth hormone can produce